There's this post that's been going around on social media, and a lot of the horror fans, especially the Scream fans, are aware of this. So we know that Neve Campbell is returning to the next untitled Scream 7. Great news. Now, let me tell you what I'm reading right here. From what I heard is that prior to Neve Campbell accepting to return to the Scream franchise, she was trying to get Spyglass Media Group to rehire Melissa Barrera. According to them, they tried to when the backlash hit and work something out. However, it's Melissa who is refusing to return after her mistreatment and will not stand down on speaking her mind on social media. Now, 95 to 99% of the Scream fans know what that's about and know what that refers to. But to the 1 to 5% who are unaware, long story short, she commented on what's going on with the Israel-Hamas-Gaza situation. And she said that Israel is doing a genocide and ethnic cleansing, which she vehemently opposes. Now, Spyglass Media fired her for that and said, we will not have that type of anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish hate going around, and we can't accept that. So they axed her, they cut her out, and I don't think there was even a real discussion on that took place. They just looked at her post and said, nope, gone. And a lot of her colleagues in the Scream franchise, they support her. And they're like, yeah, this is wrong. Just like they stood by Neve Campbell when they refused to pay her the amount she wanted, which is why she didn't appear in Scream 6. Most of you are aware of that. Now let's look at these two definitions right quick, just to see if what Melissa Barrera was saying was right or wrong. What's the definition of ethnic cleansing? The mass expulsion or killing of members of an unwanted ethnic or religious group in a society. Over here it says ethnic cleansing is the systematic forced removal of ethnic, racial, or religious groups from a given area with the intent of making a region ethnically homogeneous. Okay? And what's the definition of genocide? The deliberate killing of a large group of people from a particular nation or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Here are some words that are synonymous with that. Racial killing, massacre, wholesale slaughter, mass slaughter. And that is what Israel is doing right now. North Gaza is essentially wiped off the map. And in this whole war, over, I don't know the exact number right now, but I know at least 30 to 31,000 people in that area have been killed. A lot of it is children, too. And so when Melissa Barrera called that out, and by the way, I might be lowballing that number. That number probably has increased since I last saw it. I mean, who knows? It could be 35, 40,000 now. But last I saw, it was close to 31,000. So the question is Melissa Barrera wrong on what she's saying? So how can you call out a mass crime like that and get fired? How do you look at a mass crime, and when somebody calls it out, you're more mad at the person who called it out as opposed to what's going on out there? So, of course, Spyglass took a lot of flack for that. And I stand by Melissa, and I stand by Neve, and I stand by everybody who was critical of Spyglass for doing that, including, get this, even a lot of the Scream fans who don't like Barrera and they thought Sam was a poor character, even they're saying, yeah, this is wrong that they did that to her. So clearly, we know the right side of this. It's looking at it from a moral, humane point of view. Yeah, what Spyglass did was stupid and ignorant and wrong. Now it says here, if there's any truth to this, hopefully someone will talk about what really happened, because there are fans that are split and now attacking Neve for returning without Melissa, yet that is stupid because without Neve, there's no Scream franchise. I get that people are still upset about what happened. It was the same type of situation when Neve decided not to return for the last film because they didn't want to pay what she is worth to the franchise, yet people still watched the film, and it was the only sequel that made more money than the other films. Most of the other films. It made more money than the third, fourth, and fifth films. The first two films were still the highest grossing. But I get the point. Where was I at? It also could have been worse. They could have decided to completely reboot the franchise and start all over again, which is what I thought they were going to do before Neve officially returned to the seventh film. We are also getting Kevin Williamson to write and direct the film, which is amazing news because Kevin Williamson wrote the first few films. Thoughts on this? So, listen, if it is true that Neve Campbell is fighting to get Melissa Barrera back, that makes me an even bigger fan of hers. And I think that all of the characters who are still alive, and I think they're just as much of an important part as Neve is. Again, I'm going to say what I've always said. I've said this ever since Scream 6 was concluded. All the characters that are still living, bring them all back for Scream 7. So Sam, Tara, Mindy, Chad, Danny, Sidney, Gail. Who else do we have? Bring back some of the older characters. This is 5. Joel, Martha, and who else did? Oh, the one that was played by Patrick Dempsey, the officer, Mark Kincaid. Bring them all into Scream 7. And listen, this is just a theory. I have no evidence of this because the movie hasn't even started production yet. My theory is that film, the 7th film, is going to gross more money. Just a little bit, probably not a lot, but just a little bit more than even the first film. Now, why do I say that? Because, one, this is like a continuing story that we're all just waiting to see, especially after how Scream 6 concluded. The first film came out in 1996, and it grossed just over $173 million. And, of course, the value of a dollar has changed a little bit between that time and now. I mean, you're talking 28 years. So, yeah, I'm sure that this film, if they went with my ideal scenario, regardless of who they're going to decide to make Ghostface and regardless of how the story is going to go, kind of to a degree, then yeah, I would say that they could probably get this film to get 174 to 180 million. Now, that's just my guess. Some of you might disagree with that. You tell me what you think. Do you think that that's a legit assessment, or do you think that's, hey, no film is going to top the first film at the box office? I don't know. So it's up for debate. It's up for speculation. But so far, this is mostly good news. We got Neve Campbell returning. I saw another one that showed that Courtney Cox is more than likely to return. So it looks like they're trying to get Patrick Dempsey in there, or at least that's what a lot of fans want. So if that is what Neve is doing, then Neve, keep doing your thing. Keep fighting for Melissa. Let's get all the people back, and let's see what we can really make of this film, and just hurry up and get to it because we want to see this. I got more coming. Like and subscribe.